I know that this is a replay, but I do want to start it regular. I'll change it, but I had a question that I had prepared, and I want to do it. Is that okay?
Of course.
Okay. So now get ready. I'm going to wait 2 seconds, then I'm going to blast into it.
Hit.
Okay.
That's what I sound like when I wait.
That's good. As you're anticipating. It's like you're an Animal Crossing character where you like did the anxious react and you're like,
you're exactly right. I'm
that's
shivering.
The sound.
Yes.
It comes out of your controller too. So it's like even if your TV's muted, your controller's still.
Yeah. Tangy when she sees a scorpion.
It's like, how do I mute controller?
My husband is mad because my controller keeps making him anxious.
Am I the asshole? Hello, people who want advice. Welcome to The Replay, where we replay and reply to advice questions from advice columnists in the past, but it's about games. We're the only husband and wife in podcasting. I'm Eric.
I'm Amanda.
And I had this question, so that's why we're doing a regular Games and Feelings intro style. Obviously, going into work is the worst, and having colleagues is terrible, which is why everyone likes working from home. But the thing that I miss the most about it from a games perspective is that when I cloak my personality from everyone, and then like there's an opportunity for me to say, oh yeah, I'm actually very good at this one thing, and everyone goes, what? That's actually pretty good to surprise a bunch of people who don't really know me.
Yeah, it really is. What is your favorite like genre to surprise them toward?
I don't think it really matters the genre. I think it's like, this actually happened recently. I was when I was doing the live show for The Distraction, which we planned, which is actually kind of part of this. I saw my colleagues in person. So I produced a sports show and we were talking about stuff. And I was like, yes, I am a professional dungeon master. And you don't know what a board game is outside of Monopoly. Yes, that's right.
That's very true. My version of that, I think, is revealing that I have tattoos. Now that I have a lot of tattoos, that's a little bit different. But when I worked at JP Morgan, I would wear a watch to work every day because literally nobody on my floor of 400 or 500 people had any visible tattoos. Also in business, you're wearing like a full suit or the equivalent. Like I never saw any of my colleagues' upper arms. Like it was an extremely conservative dress environment. But near my my end of my tenure, I got a little risque, and I showed like the back of my hairline, which has a tattoo, and my wrist, which has a tattoo. And everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
This was about from a gaming perspective.
Yeah,
I think you might have forgotten. Your tattoos are for gamers?
Yes.
Okay, good.
No, but from a games perspective, I think it is it would be a couple times we did trivia in the office.
Oh, good one.
And we did stock picking contests, and people, in both of those scenarios, people were always surprised when I knew things about anything that wasn't finance. And so when I, for example, was like the person in the room who knew a lot about musical theater or, literature or essentially anything, they were like, whoa, Amanda coming through. And I'm like, I'm a person. I exist outside of this octagon-shaped building.
Yeah. No, I like that. That's actually really good. Do you know that like sometimes streamers, because they run out of things to do and they have too much money, they're like, okay, chat, pick some stocks for me. And then they do that and that becomes like a running content thing.
Oh, really?
And they always end up picking like, there's always like, oh yeah, Apple and Disney and stuff. But almost all the time they pick NVIDIA, which I think is so funny and so specific.
Because it's a streamer, like it's a name that streamers know because of its hardware?
Yes, and because like, they know that the products they make, for those of you who don't know, NVIDIA makes the graphics cards that go into PCs, and they always sell out. Like the new ones sell out immediately.
Yeah.
I think it's like the idea that they always have products that people want. NVIDIA always shows up.
That's actually a really good strategy for picking stocks like that. I can go into long detail about why being like, hey, this is a thing that I know is good. And as a user of the industry or like observer of it, I know that they frequently sell out. That is much better reasons for picking stocks than almost any other reason.
First of all, this is my wife, Jim Kramer. It's nice to meet you.
Hey, what's up? Amanda here for Amanda's Mad Money. I have no hair and I'm 5'2".
And the second thing is, like, I understand that, but I have a distinct memory of my mom buying, like, Vera Wang stock because she knew that, like, the new wedding dresses were coming out. And I'm like, that can't be a good financial strategy.
Yeah, I don't own any individual stocks. When I worked in finance, I couldn't, and I just never did. There are people way smarter than me with way more, not even smarter, no. There are people with way more tools than me.
True.
Manipulating those prices in a way that I couldn't possibly understand. Like, literally, the way to make money on the stock market is insider trading or having a supercomputer. And there's not a lot left for the rest of us. But that's why I find things like GameStop and stonks so incredibly exciting, because those people are no less qualified than anyone else or allowed to make money on the stock market.
Yeah, they just kind of work in a building with a lot of glass in it.
Yeah.
They, like, took a lot of money to build.
They do. And they're like, hey, doesn't it suck when the stock market moves for reasons you don't control? And the hedge fund traders were like, I can't comprehend this.
The reason why I asked this is I've been thinking about this a lot because I lost 50 pounds and no one cares. So I'm just like, man, I wish that I had some people who saw me every day who knew me only on an associate kind of like acquaintance level.
They see you way more than they know you.
Right, exactly. Those are the people who would care.
And they'd remark on it, and then you'd be like, probably in most cases I'd say don't remark on my body, but in
I'm
this
like,
case,
good,
please remark
yes,
on my
please.
body.
It
Yeah.
fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks and it's stupid.
You're just an avatar from the shoulders up. Most of the time, that's great. In this particular case, you're like, hey,
because like who sees me in person?
Perceive me, please.
Yeah. It's like, I want to be, please perceive me. This sucks.
Yeah. I like that. I thought you were going to ask what part of like being in an in-person office you miss the most, just generally. And like we do to a small extent. The thing I missed the most was gamifying catering. And as a person in charge of ordering the catering, I often sort of manipulated events so that the leftovers that were left pleased me. And it was great.
Like, well, you were responsible for catering?
Yeah, I had to order catering for like a lot of
see, this is different because you are a woman.
Yes.
So you would be in that situation and I would not.
Yes, exactly.
But I mean, if they're going to give you the power, you're going to use it.
Yeah. I was like,
all right, folks, we're having Ethiopian today.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I was vegan at the time. So I'm like, yeah, there are going to be 20% vegan sandwiches. No one's going to eat them, Eric. And that's lunch for me for the week.
You're just going to take home all of the eggplant sandwiches.
Yeah. And I would make sure the people I liked had choices they liked and people I didn't. And then I would let my friends know when the catering was done and there was leftovers. And then everyone else just had to pick it over.
Yeah. I think about this. This is related because my dad works at a bank. And I guess like he's been doing it for a very, very long time. So he's kind of senior now. And like I was there for a Zoom meeting for like his 30th year working at the bank. That's correct? Yes. And it was, first of all, it was the funniest thing ever, seeing the interns. It might have been
20th, but it was
a lot. It was certainly a lot.
Yeah.
And like seeing the interns who like interned for him were really funny. And then there was like a running joke. At one point I said I had to go to work and everyone laughed and I'm like, what? I was like, I have a meeting. It's like they didn't believe me. But there was a whole thing about this where they ordered only salmon sushi because that's what my dad likes.
Incredible.
And I'm like, the person who entered this in for my dad is I can't comprehend the person on the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah.
Who has to do org stuff.
Yeah.
Who has to do this for my dad for his weird, like, banal tastes. It's so funny.
Yeah. Either one of his similarly leveled colleagues was like, it'd be funny. Let's order Eric's dad 500 pieces of salmon sushi.
TJ did do that. Yeah. TJ definitely said that.
And then the admin assistant was like, all right. And then texted her group chat as she was putting in an order for like $2,000 of sushi.
I mean, well, it was also like their lunch was the sushi.
Yeah.
But the way that...
it wasn't like for show. They just like ordered like a platter for,
But like they did order... I wasn't there. So this is what I'm scrying, right? Because I saw it only on Zoom. Like my dad's friend at work is like the weird divorced sad one, and I have distinct memories of that from middle school and high school. This guy TJ, and TJ made a joke that like we're all gonna go have salmon sushi, but I don't know if the entire platter was salmon sushi or there was like, let's make sure to get my dad, Eric's dad, salmon sushi because that's what he always orders when we do this thing. But it's funnier in my head if it was like everyone gets salmon sushi.
Personal sushi, right? Or maybe they were taking him out for lunch just like 6 or 7 of them.
Nope. It was in the office.
I remember this being early lockdown, but they were all in person.
It was
Or was it
mid-lockdown,
mid-lockdown?
when
Okay.
people should not be back at work, but they were.
Got it. Yeah.
Whereas, like, don't worry, we have like HIPAA filters. Come to work because you have to do finance
Yeah,
here.
and there were like $10,000 like Cisco video chat systems, and yet the angle was so bad.
Yeah, it was so funny. It was so funny.
Well, Eric, I'm glad that we got all our kind of internal like office building and like shared workspace chat out of the way, because this edition of the replay is all outdoors. It's all outdoors, baby. Everyone else might think, oh, cozy season, time to go inside, la la la. No, those of us who hate to sweat are outside right now,
La la la.
enjoying it.
Though, if this is all outdoors, which I think, if I remember correctly, these questions are answered by Blair Braverman, notorious person who's outside and loves telling people about it and wants people to go outside.
Yes.
At least I'll be wearing a shirt that's appropriate to sweat in.
Yeah.
I think that this is more the issue, and that I've understood more as I've had to mandatory sweat to shrink my body. It's about sweating in inopportune times.
Yes,
My body is still hot, and I sweat in the shirt that I was wearing in public. But I can sweat in my gym clothes, but it's like, are you going to give me the time to put the gym clothes on?
Yes, the worst part is having sweated and needing to do other things.
Exactly.
I've been going to yoga a lot, and similar. Like it's pouring off me. It doesn't matter. I go home and shower, and like everything's fine.
But you can wear athleisure more in more places.
Yeah, but afterward, it's like it's wet.
Oh, after?
Yeah.
For sure. But before, like, you can set it up so it works.
Yeah, the worst was like walking to work when I had to wear a full suit to finance, and it was like 95 degrees outside, and then I had to like
Exactly.
do my entire day.
Or even like you're in school and wearing your clothes and it is sweaty.
Yes.
Or you just came off of gym and you haven't stopped sweating yet.
I feel like that's the thing I'm going to talk about when I'm elderly, is that my elementary, middle, and high schools had no air conditioning.
That's
None.
crazy.
There was no air conditioning.
Oh my God. And
It
it was
was-
really hot.
It was really hot.
For like 3 of those months at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hot.
It was hot.
Ridiculous. Well, Eric, as you said, you found an excellent source of new replay questions, which I'm always looking for. So hit me up at She's So Mickey, or email the show if you have any recs. But this,
Amanda, you are so Mickey. Like
That
no
is me.
one's talking about this.
your mom says that to me, and I'm like, ugh, red to filth.
I know. Though your extended family does only know me as El Silvero, which is weirder than
My
that.
coolest aunt, and no one else.
I mean, they still know it. They just didn't say it to my face.
That's true. But Blair Braverman, you may know from social media. She is a professional. She does lots of things professionally. She's a writer, but she lives in Alaska with her husband. They were on Naked and Afraid together, and they race dogs. They do dog sled racing.
Yeah.
She's
and
the
those
best.
those dogs are famous.
Yes.
You know about Flurm?
You know about Flurm.
Everyone loves Flurm.
Noodle. Like, there are so many good dogs over there. And she has written Welcome to the Goddamn Ice Cube, a memoir about mushing and dog sledding, as well as a spooky novel about a Naked and Afraid style abandonment reality TV show.
Do you read that?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
How has Blair Braverman not been on Spirits yet?
Eric, that's a great question. Hang on.
Head of Creative, Eric
Taking
Silver,
A
folks.
quick little Slack to myself.
Put it in the Remember channel.
Blair
We have a
on
Remember
Spirits.
channel on Slack, which is just Eric and Amanda, where we tell each other things, good ideas to remember for later.
Yeah, when we're not at our desks, which is very helpful. Anyway, so she writes a column for Outside Magazine. It is it's called Tough Love. It is about, quote, dating, breakups, and everything in between. But you pointed out there are some things there about sports. And so I have begun with the question that you found, and you know the headline, but I've also uncovered some good ones from the archives. So want to jump in?
Hell yeah. Yes, I do not remember this question, and I didn't read it at all because I immediately just sent it to you, so it's out of my brain. So I'm coming to this clear-eyed. I'm really interested. Blair's also very thoughtful. So
Yes.
like anything I say is going to be harsher than the thing that she says. So I'm actually kind of excited about it because after all of this Dear Prudence nonsense from the various Dear Prudences that exist, it's always like I say something harsher, but then they say something that's soft but totally fucking out of bounds.
Yes.
So I'm very excited about this. Also, remember, we're doing the replay because this is a main feed episode. If you want more of these episodes, we do them on the Patreon. All you have to do is go to patreon.com/gamesandfeelings. Give us $5.
Yeah.
$5.
Per month.
$5 a month.
Yeah.
That's
like
so little.
one wool sock. One. A lot of Blair's articles are about wool. She's a lot of explainers.
That's what I was trying
clothing.
to say, is like what Blair is saying is like it's more about wearing things you can sweat in. Because Blair has like wool socks, sweat-wicking tank top.
Yes.
And like leggings that both are keep your heat in but also keep you cool, question mark?
Yeah. So as I was going through the column, I also just opened some tabs just for Amanda's. One of which is titled "Blair Braverman's favorite active bra-friendly dresses."
Exactly.
A very important caveat. Yeah. So she's full of practical advice and she's got a lot of empathy. So like she is a queer woman. Her husband is trans. They're Jewish. Like there are a lot of reasons why they have had to carve out niches for themselves in the outdoors, in Alaska, in the different like competitive communities that they're in. And so her perspective is often one of like, hey, you are welcome here too. No question is stupid. And like, let me kind of welcome you in and show you that it's possible to exist here while also kind of being safe. So that's her stance. And I think it's going to be interesting how your advice kind of stacks up.
I'm interested also the people, so this is Outside Magazine, yeah?
Yes.
So I'm very interested of the types of questions they write in as opposed to the people who write in to advice questions on Slate, which is where like you take a break from being the, I don't know, president of a nonprofit board
Yes.
and yelling at your subordinates for 20 minutes. And you're like, woo, I'm going to write in about my marriage to Slate.
Exactly. I'm sensing that most of these questions come from Blair's audience, but let's review at the end of the episode.
It's probably good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
No, they're good. So this headline that grabbed you is, "My nephew is a great athlete, but he might be cheating. Do I report it?"
Oof. God.
All right. My wife's nephew, age 10, is very talented in his sport.
Oh, age 10. I didn't even know that. Oh.
Since my wife's family doesn't have much money, and my wife and I have 2 incomes and no kids, we've been helping out by contributing to his training and expenses. He's a sweet, talented kid and works very hard. There's no doubt about that. We also enjoy the chance to be involved and follow along with his competitions. The problem is that I recently saw something that indicates he might be cheating. My wife is completely in denial about it and claims nothing is going on. She even gets angry when I try to bring it up. Last time I tried, she said she wasn't going to talk to me about this and she left the room. I've been worrying a lot in this situation, mainly because I've always felt strongly about honesty, and I don't want to support someone who's cheating. I'm not sure what to do. I've even thought about going to officials and reporting him anonymously. In my mind, the reason we support his athletics isn't because he's great at his sport, even though he is, or because we expect it to be his full-time career someday. We support him because it's something he loves and he's learning skills like hard work, dedication, persistence, and problem solving. I hate the idea that this thing that's supposed to be good might actually be teaching him the wrong lessons. What would you do in this situation? Talk to his parents, officials, not say anything at all? I've tried, but I just can't let go.
What sport? Does it say what sport?
It doesn't say what sport, and that's my first question for you.
How can a 10-year-old cheat?
I don't know.
And also be not found out?
I don't know. I have no clue. He calls them competitions, not games. So something about this makes me think it's individual, like martial arts
or
tennis.
Oh, martial arts is good. Yeah. No, it's probably like martial arts.
That's my guess. Like kids who are 10
or wrestling.
Aren't, like running track. Kids who are 10 aren't even wrestling, I feel.
No, I don't know.
I think it's got to be like a martial arts situation.
Let's assume it is an individual sport.
Yeah. And they say training and expenses. So, I mean, martial arts, you do training, sure. Expenses, I guess you need gear. But I don't know. Like that tennis, maybe swimming.
But like even hot, swimming, I guess. But how do you cheat?
I don't know how you cheat. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how you cheat, especially in a way that isn't facilitated by the parents. Like you can't be buying better gear. So I am so puzzled. I have no idea what he could possibly be cheating at.
No. I think for this reason, you just don't say anything. I understand that they're 10 and you're trying to instill values and stuff, but like kids also have personalities and they need. So one, this kid might be a douche. First of all, can we acknowledge the kid's douche? Can we acknowledge the kid's a douche?
Maybe he's incredibly anxious, doesn't want to fail.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And second, the thing that I have learned the most on my 32-year-old trip around this earth is that no one learns anything by giving them advice and giving a talking to.
Yes.
It is just a blip upon the story that is eventually they get caught or they don't. I don't think that if you are pushing this, yes, it is racking you inside enough that you wrote into this advice column, and your wife doesn't want to talk about it, then, dude, like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
You're kind of out of options.
You're kind of out of options. I think that kids are so complicated because people have a lot of themselves invested into child because child is a minor. So, like, there's a lot of space for adults to put things on them.
Yes.
So you can't really do anything about it. And the second thing is, like, you can't stop it. No one's going to believe you. Don't go to an official. That's so stupid.
That is so
That's going
tattling.
to blow up your life if you do that.
And your family. Like that. Oh boy. I totally agree. I really, like, probably because, I'm curious, and this is an advice column. I want to know how this adult could be so convinced that this child is cheating and why the child's parents don't know, or if they do know, or if they're implicated, or like how is it like, well, it must be the 10-year-old. Like 10-year-olds are smart, but they're not that smart. They can't reach that much. Like they don't have money. Like how could he be cheating in a way that no other adults who are responsible for his moral development or the competition have noticed? Yeah,
if there's anything we've learned from the various parenting columns we've looked at is like, you can't really do anything because the parents don't want to do anything. Like, you can't. There's no situation, unless the parents are doing something that physically endangers the child, so the social contract says you cannot step in. Or it will go really badly for you if you do step in. So let me also say another thing is like, what again, no one's going to listen to you. Like no one, the kid, even if you got to the kid's not going to listen to you. Your wife doesn't want to listen to you. The kid's parents will not listen to you. I learned this a long time ago because I felt this way about a lot of things. Like, I'm seeing people act a type of way. This is going to lead to worse behavior. And even if you flag that behavior, or even if you flag like, this person is like mean, and I think it's going to really endanger or be really rude and makes me hurt more. No one's going to listen to you until they do the thing that infringes on the social contract. Like, the precogs, we talk about Minority Report. Minority Report, they basically like plug technology into these people's brains and they predict crimes before they happen, right? But the thing is that the whole morality thing is, can you arrest someone for a crime that didn't happen yet? No, you really can't. Even if like you would want to, you can't. That's the same thing with behavior. Is like you cannot get someone until they do something. And even then, you just look like someone who says, I told you so, which is good for you, but does not keep you warm at night. So it's like, you can't really do anything. I know it sucks. I guess with kids it's a little more complicated, but it's like, you can't really do anything.
You want to hear what Blair had to say?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Blair's probably going to say something way more empathetic and understanding, but I'm just like, you're out of luck, my man. I know that this is tearing you up inside, but if no one wants to hear it, you're kind of stuck. Welcome to society.
Word. So it's a thoughtful and long response, linked as always in the episode description. If you want to read it yourselves, guys, you have up to 5 articles on Outside Magazine for free per month, by the way, for paywall management.
For those of you who have already used your 5 articles, I'm so sorry. Just put on that incognito.
Just wait till that clock ticks over to a new month. Mm-hmm. Yep. So she says, I'm not sure why you think he might be cheating, but it seems like mostly a suspicion on your part at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
It's important to figure things out within the family first. And if he did cheat, I mean, that's serious, but this is still a kid we're talking about, and I think kids should be given a lot of grace for their mistakes, at least the first time. I know many people who, for example, slipped a piece of candy from a store in their pocket at that age, but they've grown up to become scrupulous, ethical adults. In other words, his actions at age 10 don't represent his ultimate morality, but instead could indicate a need for a conversation about how cheating harms everyone.
I'm sure Blair edited out, yeah, what if kid's a douche?
Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of thing like you would we've been in a situation where like we've hung out with people and then like, on the subway home be like, wow, that person's kind of a little shit, huh? And like, that's, I don't know, that's when you recognize it. You can't change their behavior, but you can say to each other, and then like move on with your life.
Right, exactly. And youth sports, 10-year-old sports is not the governing body where you need to be a whistleblower.
Yeah. Blair also points out another possibility is if he did cheat, he might have been put up to it by an adult. Adults can get really invested in kids' sports, particularly if they're achievers. And there are several kinds of cheating that will be hard for a kid to pull off without adult involvement. Maybe your nephew feels he has to cheat in order to make people proud. Or maybe he's been put into a situation he doesn't want to be in and is following the instructions of a coach, mentor, or relative. Mm-hmm. However, that's layering one assumption on top of another. For now, let's assume that's not the case.
Yeah. I mean, when you talk about sports, like cheating, the idea of cheating is so complicated. And like, what is cheating as opposed to like being taught by coaches that this is an advantage.
Yeah.
I think about football a lot. This has been coming up a lot. Do you know about the tush push? Have you heard about the tush push?
No.
Yeah.
Or, I would have been saying it every day.
Yeah, okay. So the tush push is this one play that is run by the Philadelphia Eagles,
Great.
which is where Go Eagles. Where so do you know what a quarterback sneak is? No. Okay. So before quarterbacks were mobile, aka allowed people who were not just
allowed to run.
weird white men to be quarterbacks.
The other day I said, Eric, why are they all handsome? And he had a great answer.
Yeah, it's because being a quarterback has 40% charisma, a la being handsome. They would do a play called the quarterback sneak, which is where you try to get you got to get the first down. Everyone knows this. Taylor Swift fans have already told you how to play football. You guys know it already. But it's like you try to get the first down and you have 1 yard to go, right? So what you do is, the way that American football plays are laid out, where it's like you have the offensive line and then you just try to basically the quarterback just goes, eh.
Yeah, you try to push it.
And throws their body to over there, right?
Go,
eh. So with the Philadelphia Eagles, they do something called the tush push, or other people are pushing the brotherly shove, which is worse. Where basically the big linemen, some of them get behind the quarterback and do a rugby-style push to get them the extra yard or so.
That's good.
And the Eagles are very good at it. Everyone else is very bad at it. Even people who try to reproduce this are bad at it, right?
Interesting.
And there's a whole thing about how this is illegal because, one, the NFL is bullshit. So it's like, the Eagles have an unfair advantage. We have to take it out. But two, they're saying it's cheating because no one's done it before. And also it might lead to health and safety violations.
Oh my God. Eat shit.
I know.
All of football is a health and safety violation.
Yeah, exactly.
To be clear.
Exactly.
You can't pick and choose when they make a play that you can't do.
Welcome to the National Football League. So an idea of cheating might be another coach's advantage. Or trying to flout the rules to get a leg up. So it's very complicated. I think what Blair said, that's actually quite complicated, is like if a coach is telling this 10-year-old to do this, does the coach not think it's cheating, but you do?
Right.
And then it becomes like, again, if the officials don't catch it, then it's not cheating.
Yeah. Well said. Well, Blair does have some recommendations. I think talking to your wife seriously should be your first step. It's clearly a tender subject for her, so schedule it in advance so she doesn't feel like it's sprung on her.
I don't see the problem. Obviously, it's too dramatic for her.
Well,
it's obviously wrapped up. Go back to the beginning of the question.
Yes. The letter writer says, since my wife's family doesn't have much money and my wife and I have 2 incomes and no kids, we've been helping out by contributing to his trading and expenses.
Right. Obviously, your wife feels like this is her contributing to her family.
Yeah.
And she is in and she feels guilt about that because she's in a financially stable situation and she doesn't want any of that threatened because it makes her life feel secure. Don't talk about it. I don't think it's worth talking about.
Well, what Blair says is I think you should talk to her because she might have a strong reaction related to old stuff rather than this. Like, for example, she might feel like you jump to conclusions or you're quick to mistrust her family. Like there could be a lot
Blair,
in there, right? But legitimate, that's valid.
No, I mean, it's true. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Blair continues, maybe she knows something you don't know. Remember that as close as you are to them, this is her family of origin. There might be context or dynamics that have been at play for decades that you're not aware about.
Yeah, I guess the question has to be, hey, why are you so upset whenever I bring this up?
Yeah, but said in a different way.
Yeah, but I mean, that has to be the context of the question.
Yeah, exactly. So that's step one, which I do agree about, and I think
I would
start the
why
conversation.
Are you so crazy?
No, I think I would approach that by being like, you're allowed to tell me you're tired of talking about this and bored, but I want to make sure there's not something I'm missing about the situation because there's something here that I'm not understanding.
I just don't know if Question Asker is going to be able to put his his whistleblower hat off. He's not going to be able to take that away from the situation. Can't you see 50% of these conversations going, the kid's cheating? I don't know why he was cheating.
Me too, yeah. My favorite line of the letter is, I've always felt strongly about honesty. Okay, calm down. All right, so let's close out Blair's response. I feel like I'm doing that thing where I call a woman scientist by her first name, but her name's Blair Braverman. People call her
Blair.
I mean, they call her Blair because of the internet.
That's what the dogs call her Blair.
Her Blair, yeah. All right, so she finishes with, The next step, if your wife agrees, would be talking to the nephew's parents. My inclination would be to
No.
let them take the situation from there. The fact that you sponsor your nephew financially will be a convenient lever. It's fair to say, whether to your wife or your nephew's parents, that you're not willing to keep supporting him until you see this concern addressed. Pause. Amanda here. I think that sucks.
No, this sucks.
Yeah.
No, don't do this. I know Blair is trying to like be empathetic and give you the steps to do the thing that question asker wants, but again, you can't precog this.
Yeah.
Someone, an official or someone needs to get caught. And then you can say, I had, only if you want to do this to say later, I told you so, I wish we had talked about it.
Yeah, that
Then,
just makes you look.
but again, it
yeah.
doesn't actually help.
Yeah. And then Blair concludes with saying, in part, I hope your nephew isn't cheating. And if that's the case, you may want to look at your own proclivity for making assumptions.
Got him. Fucking got him.
I think there's a lot here about why this letter writer is so invested and what the hell could be going on. This is not a 17-year-old who is taking steroids that endanger his health, you know?
Or even to add on to this is not a 17-year-old taking steroids to get scholarship for college.
Which is
this
very complex, yeah.
10-year-old.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Dying to know what the answer was. But that's what we've got from our column number 1 from Outside Magazine.
All right. Hey, it's Eric, and I have so much leftover Halloween candy. Take it. I ate all the Reese's, but you can have anything else. If I look at anything that has chocolate or peanuts in it, I will hurl into my slowly moldering jack-o'-lantern. And it's not for a sad reason why I have all this candy. I just bought too much. Because plenty of kids came and asked me for candy, and I said yes, and I felt fulfilled. Thanks, society. First of all, hello to Gabe, who became our newest patron at patreon.com/gamesandfeelings. You're supporting us. Thanks, Gabe. You're great. Gabe was also an annual patron, where you can get 12 months for the price of 10 if you pay for the whole year up front. So Gabe, thank you. You're the best. Also, the best producer-level patrons Polly Burge, Kelsey Duffy, and Peyton, who are all very proud of me when I 100%ed Spider-Man 2 on Halloween weekend because I was sick and couldn't go do anything fun. But instead, I got my first platinum trophy because now I have a PS5 and I care about that. It is a great day to try a new show from the Multitude Podcast Collective, like Join the Party. It's our actual play podcast. Listen, I put so much time and effort into it. If you like this show and you're not listening to Join the Party, please do it. I'm the best DM in podcasting. It's one of the best Dungeons & Dragons shows since 2017, and we've been doing it for a very long time. We're currently doing a One Piece-inspired campaign where it's all plants and bug people, so it's pirates and plants and bugs. Like, it's fun. We have so many episodes. Go check it out. Join the party, wherever you can get your podcasts. Jasper was on it. It's good. It's good. We're doing some really interesting stuff, some really interesting guest stuff coming up, so this is a good time to hop on. We are also sponsored this week by Ravensburger Jigsaw Puzzles. Did you know that Ravensburger produces more than just classic jigsaw puzzles and board games that we know so well? I didn't. Tell me about it. That's a different show, but you get it. Introducing Creart by Ravensburger, the ultimate painting by number experience. You'll find everything you need to know to start your artistic journey today with Ravensburger's carefully curated painting by number kits. Whether you're a seasoned artist seeking a new challenge or a beginner eager to explore the world of painting, Ravensburger's kits cater to all skill levels and ages. Embrace the therapeutic benefits of painting by number as you melt away the stresses of daily life and find solace in the act of creation without facing the pressure of a blank canvas. Stop selling me the things I need as a stressed out millennial. Stop it. But actually don't stop it because this is great. Explore the wide selection of Ravensburger's enchanting designs on Amazon, ranging from majestic landscapes to adorable animals and everything in between. Let your imagination run wild and embrace the joy of painting with Creart by Ravensburger. Shop for Creart on Amazon today. And now, we're getting back to the show.
Eric, this is a question that I think bridges two of our loves, competitive reality shows and making fun of people who love the outdoors. We don't love the second one, but I was
love the second one,
I was
but you
grasping for it.
You really wanted to set up
I was
that joke.
grasping for it. Yeah. All
Okay.
right. This is another question from Outside Magazine. This one was from also just a couple weeks ago, from yesterday at the time of recording.
Wow.
And it's titled, My Friend Keeps Trying to Get Us Stranded in the Wilderness. Subtitle, He's a big fan of survival shows, and I think he's trying to recreate one.
You can't put someone on a reality show without their consent. You just cannot.
Right? All right, Eric, here's the question. I think my friend is trying to get stuck in the wilderness. This year, we started taking weekend backpacking trips together and have a nice time. Last time, we were hiking to the trailhead on Sunday, and there were dark clouds gathering in the sky. But according to the weather report, it wasn't supposed to storm until afternoon. I thought we could make it easily, but it seemed like he kept stalling along the way. And finally, he said that we wouldn't make it out in time and we should set up camp and wait out the weather. He seemed very cheerful about it. I said that was unnecessary, and sure enough, we got to the car with plenty of time.
Oh my God.
It's like, nah, man, hunker down, man.
This is like a Lifetime movie.
Right? I think Eric, they're in love, and the one who's stalling wants to engineer a, like, stranded one-bed scenario. You know this trope?
I do.
Yeah.
I feel like you've read the end of the question and I need more context.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. No, I think it's the thing. If it was that, this is incredibly funny. Writing into an advice column saying, hey, I think this guy's trying to strand me in the woods. And the guy's like, I'm so in love with Catherine.
Right. It made me realize how often he suggests this kind of thing. Like that we can't keep going on the way back or we'll have to wait out the weather. One time he said a trail was impassable, but we got through fairly easily.
This is so funny.
I'll admit, I felt a little thrilled at the thought of staying out too, but I quickly thought better of it. My friend loves survival shows and often says he'd do well on Alone. Am I off base for thinking that maybe he's trying to make that happen in real life? To be clear, I don't feel scared, but I do feel like on some level he is wanting us to get stuck out there. Is this dangerous? What is the best way to handle it?
Okay. I'm going to answer from my experience as someone who lives with Amanda McLoughlin. I know from experience that you can just go to a website, read a blog, and like train to be on these shows.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think it's this, because there's no way this guy is this into Alone. And I'm saying this for someone like you who is so into different types of these shows, but
yeah.
Survivor, Big Brother, etc. And not know and not get further into the fandom as you are if he is this into the show. For example, Amanda has told me many times that there are websites and podcasts and consulting you can buy to get yourself ready to be on Survivor.
There's American Ninja Warrior and The Challenge, like training camps where you can like go through, you know, scale models or like full-size examples of those challenges.
Well, the training camp for The Challenge is worse reality shows.
Big Brother, yeah.
And then go into The Challenge.
That's true. Make enemies on Big Brother, yep.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just surprised that this guy, I don't think it's this. I know we were joking about the thing you said.
I'm not joking.
But I think it's
joking.
that. I think it's way more of that because, again, you can train. If you want to be on Alone, just say, hey, I'm taking a week off. I'm going to try to live in the woods.
Yeah, I've watched Alone. And so even if you're not in the fandom, just a casual watcher of the show, all of the contestant bios start with all the things they've done to prepare.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
it is impossible for you to be a fan of these shows and not do 2 clicks to figure out what you could do to also simulate at least.
Everybody's like, oh yeah, I made a hut in my backyard and like lived there for a week. I, like learned all the skinning and trapping. I, et cetera, et cetera. I, have learned how to do the fish nets in the river. Like everybody talks about what they've done to prepare. And Alone specifically is like, hey, this is incredibly dangerous and we don't cast people who can't do this. And so they talk about like the show is making you see how much preparation contestants put in.
So even more so than Survivor.
Yes.
It's literally right there.
Yes.
So that's why I don't think that this guy wants to get you involved in his Alone fantasy.
Like, yeah, if he did, and he said, like, just like you said, Eric, like, if he's like, hey, I'm gonna, like, make a little hut, try to live in my backyard, would you, like, check on me twice a day? Would you, like, encourage me? Would you keep me company? Like,
that is more regular.
That is very regular.
I'm trying to think of the words to phrase this. That would be so much easier.
That's not weird. This doesn't have to be a heist.
Right, exactly. He would not have to do this if he wanted to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. That's wild. I think he wants to set up a meet cute. That's the only thing I can think of.
Or slightly less than that, maybe he really likes it and doesn't want the experience to end. Like, I think it means something that it's always on the way back to the car. which is
I
sweet.
understand, but it's like the way that this woman, I'm assuming it's a woman, is framing this is like, hey, my friend has serial killer behavior.
That's the thing. Like, this could easily be the beginning of, a true crime story.
Yeah.
But this is none of those vibes.
The funny thing about it was like, guess we had to camp, and then she said, I'm imagining this as like a script.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh no, the clouds are coming, we have to camp. And then the woman is like, I can see the car.
The
from
car's
here."
right there.
The light on top of the bathrooms, I can see it through the trees.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Do I know what Blair has to say?
I do, because I think we called bunk on the question asker's situation.
So she says, I'll confess I find your friend's efforts a little charming, even though, let me be clear, it's very irresponsible to try to get trapped in the woods.
See, even Blair thinks that it's a meet cute.
Yeah.
Blur.
Yeah. She has some very good and normal advice about the fact that lost hikers put rescuers at risk also, and like being silly about your health and body endangers like other hikers, the environment, people who want to hike and hear stories about like boneheaded hikers and are like, oh, I guess it's not for me, etc. She says, if you ever for a second get the vibe that your friend's sabotaging your trips, misplacing supplies, saying he's bringing things he's not bringing, etc., like, don't put yourself in a situation where he could be, infringing on your safety.
That's what I'm saying, though, is like, I know that this guy is being super weird. I don't think he's doing that.
Yes.
Like,
she
he's
agrees.
not like, oh, I misplaced the food. We have no food.
Right.
And we're 10 miles. We're 10 hours away from the car. Like, he's not doing that.
No, that's fucked up, dangerous, and I'm sure people do it, but that's not what we're dealing with here.
Right.
And Blair agrees. She says, it doesn't really sound from your examples like he's doing dangerous stuff. Sounds like he's just hoping in his heart that he might have to sleep out an extra night or wait out a rainstorm in a tent in the way someone might fantasize about getting stuck at a dream vacation destination so they don't have to leave.
I think that this guy's also a little, like, he's not ready to put this in his own hands. He's not ready to tell someone, be like, I'm going to go sleep outside in the woods for 3 days. Like,
yeah.
I hope that the advice is, can you empower your friend?
Yes. It really is, Eric.
Oh, wow.
So she says, I wonder if your friend's reluctance to reach the trailhead and your own thrill at the thought of staying out is a sign that you're craving and ready for longer trips with all the fluidity that they entail.
And also Kias.
And maybe Kias.
And maybe you Kias.
Is he up for 4 days? 5? Are you? If doubling or tripling your distances seems daunting, maybe give yourselves more days for the same length of trip. Set up a base camp, explore, take day hikes en route, etc., without the pressure of constantly moving and hauling additional food and supplies.
And then you Kias.
And then maybe
Kias.
Another option, if your friend wants the excitement of feeling stuck out there, is to hire a boat to leave you on an island with supplies, then have it come back and pick you up at a set time later.
Exactly. Like, these are real things that people do all the time.
Yeah, she says you could even offer to split up for a while and let your friend truly try out being alone, but check in with him a couple times a day.
And then he said, no, I really miss you.
I want to kiss. I want to kiss.
What if we kissed?
Yep.
What if we kissed alone?
Well, Blair doesn't say you should perhaps kiss, but she does say very sweetly, like, you don't need an excuse to want to be out in nature longer. You can stay because it feels like home and you love it. Like, you're allowed, and maybe he's searching for an excuse to do so.
I kind of love these particular advice columns, like this one and Ola Poppy, where it's like, really, the advice question is the jumping off point for a beautiful essay.
It is.
And that's good. That's hot shit. That's what I want. Yes. I don't want this absolute nonsense that I'm getting from Slate constantly. Like, I want this.
Yeah, it's really lovely. And I'm pulling out the, highlights of Blair's responses, but they really are very beautiful. And like, little moment here of myself, like, she has a lot of extremely like encouraging advice to be like, one of her articles that I first read was like, hey, literally, how do I like sleep outside overnight? Like, what do I need? What might happen? What is it like? What might I be scared about? And she goes into it without judgment, which I think is really lovely. And she is a beautiful writer. So you should really check it out. Use those 5 articles.
Have you slept outside before?
In my backyard in the suburbs of New York City.
Oh.
Yeah,
nice.
We would have like a big tent and camp outdoors,
and then
like use the bathroom inside. But I really want to, and I just never have had a like, I don't know, either someone who I felt was stoked about it enough that me not knowing how to sort of pull my weight would be okay. Like someone who's like, oh yeah, like let me show you, like let me, I'll set up the whole thing, like show you how to do it, or just like I live in New York City, like the
Yeah.
time and equipment to do it.
Yeah. You always need someone who like knows how to do all the stuff. Because if you don't know how to do something, you can be in real shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to put a tarp down is a big deal. I don't know how to hang my food if I am in places where there are big things who want to eat my food.
Yeah. And she has a lot of very good advice, like start in your backyard. Like start with a friend who knows it really well. You can drive somewhere, set up camp, spend the day there, drive home. Like there's, she has very good advice for sort of easing into it.
Mm-hmm. I do want to be on Survivor. And I think I will, in fact, make a video and send it in. But like, boof. There's a lot of just like, I did a lot of this, but at summer camp, like doing camping outdoors, and we had really long camping trips, like 5-6 day camping trips. But it's like, if I don't even have cards, like, am I just going to be sitting there hungry? And then like, oh God, good. Then I have to like I have to do a challenge put together by a reality show team. That would be wild.
Yeah.
Though I think I do need to get on the show for me to ultimately get the job that I want, which is games consultant on reality shows.
Yeah. I saw the credits of a reality show recently and someone's title was games producer and I was like, fuck.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was like, can Eric find her on LinkedIn and talk to her?
That could be me.
I know.
Hey, can I pick your brain?
Yeah. Genuinely, you'd be so good at it.
I would love that. That would be great.
My sister called me recently and was like, hey, I accidentally saw an episode of Big Brother. That challenge is absolute bullshit. Why don't they hire Eric? And I was like, great question.
Great question. Great question.
All right,
I
Eric.
know.
Let's do one more question from Blair.
Okay.
Okay. This is titled The Fine Art of Teaching Your Significant Other to Ski.
I'm already a podcaster. It's like, usually it's the other way around.
Here we go. My partner is an ex-semi-pro skier.
Oh boy.
Lots of words there. He's kind, patient, emotionally intelligent, and very competitive. This summer, I taught him to climb, which he agreed to if he could teach me to ski. Fast forward a few months.
Whoa.
Eric, mid-coffee, let's stop.
Hold on. You didn't know how to ski until this moment?
Why are you so surprised?
I'm already seeing that this is a point of conflict in their relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I think it would be too weird for me to do it, and he probably just wants you to learn how to ski so you can do the thing that was the biggest part of his young life.
Yes. Ex-pro to never have skied, that's a big distance.
Because I can already see this. I felt this way about video games for a very long time. It was like, all right, I have to put away my childish things,
yes,
which is professionally skiing. But then, like, no, it can just be a part of your life. In this situation, I can see it's like, well, I'm older now. I have this wife who doesn't even know how to ski. I have put away my childish things. But really, how does Question Asker not know how to ski in this relationship? If you were with someone who was professional at any point in their life, and probably still likes to do this thing, how do you not know at least how to do it? I think about, who's that chef who met his wife at a cooking class that he ran?
Oh, yes.
Jet
Tila and his wife, whose name I don't know.
Right. And it was like, well, that makes sense. You don't have to be professional at it, but it's like, wouldn't two people come together around interests that they love so much? And I think skiing, though, it sounds like she has been resistant to skiing if they will only do the hobbies of each other that they like as a trade.
I am very puzzled why this is framed as a trade. Can I tell you my headcanon here?
Please.
I think this is like month 4 of their relationship. I think this is early in the relationship. Yeah, because I know that the question asker is referring to their partner as their partner, but it feels like a thing that comes up very early in the relationship, to your point.
Well, that's why I'm like, but you don't write in to Outside Magazine if you are only 4 months into a relationship.
So maybe, though. So the question asker says, this summer I taught him how to climb. Fast forward a few months, it's winter and I'm terrified. It feels like they met in like March, and then like some of their first things were over the summer, and she was like, they live in Denver. Let's say, okay, great, they live in Denver. And she's like, oh, okay, great, like, let me teach you how to climb. And then now it's like October, and he's like, okay, great, babe, like, time to go. And she's like, uh-oh, like, what have I committed to here? That's just my headcanon. I don't know why I'm picking up on that vibe, but it feels like something that would absolutely come up super early in the relationship, where either it's like, that's so funny, I know nothing about it, like, tell me about this world.
That's why I'm surprised she doesn't know how to ski.
I mean, lots of people don't ski. It's expensive and hard to get to, et cetera, but
you know who would be able to help them and maybe have friends at the mountain and maybe some extra skis that they got for free for winning competitions?
Well, let me tell you a little bit perhaps why the question asker has some baggage around this.
Okay.
The question continues. My parentheses, very expensive, holy cow, skis are getting tuned, parentheses, is that the right term? As I write this, so it's too late to back out. But it seems like every friend I talk to tells me not to let my significant other teach me to ski. They say things like, that's how you almost broke up, or one time I taught my girlfriend to ski. She's not my girlfriend anymore. Now, I don't think
What
we're going
the fuck?
Right? Like, what the
fuck?
heck? So,
also, it's not that expensive if this is your main hobby. There is a camera in this studio that is $600. Yeah, we use it for the job we have.
I also don't know why she would buy skis.
He probably had skis or got them or he sourced them and he's like, oh, you got to have good skis. That's what I'm saying, though. It's like, how much is expensive? Is $500 for skis expensive to one person and very cheap to another person?
I'm not sure. Like there's lots of ways. Like, is this person like doing the equivalent of buying a very expensive road racing bike because they want to like get into cycling for fitness? You know, or like have started dating somebody who's into cycling, or like why does someone buy skis? Why did someone buy skis? Like I'm very confused here. I skied as a kid. We rented them every time because like kids grow and it makes no sense to own skis if you only ski a bit.
I skied enough with my mom and my stepdad at the time because my mom was into speed skating and was up in Lake Placid a lot, speed skating and also skiing. I skied so much that I should have bought skis and boots that actually fit me at some point.
Right.
And I still only rented them a lot. But then again, it depends if this is your hobby. I think you should spend money on it.
But it's not yet her hobby. She's never skied before and she bought skis.
But she should have. I guess the thing you're saying about that they just started dating is crazy. But then why the fuck did you write into Blair Braverman?
I am so puzzled here. But here, let's finish the question, which concludes with, now I don't think we're going to split over this, but I'm very worried about setting realistic expectations for my abilities. Parentheses, I'm clumsy and risk averse and feeling pressured to perform to the point that I'm no longer having fun. What should I do? So it feels like there needs to be a conversation.
She climbs. What the fuck is she talking about?
I don't know. Climbers.
No. I'm calling bullshit on Question Asker. She is a climber enough that when you say climb, what do you think she means?
Yeah, like rock climbing outside or inside.
I would say outside.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking Denver, you know?
No, I'm with you with Denver. Yeah. Outside climbing, you're not risk averse.
No,
absolutely
you're
not.
You're not clumsy if you can climb. Like that's incredibly, like you are using your body. I get how if you go from like me, nothing to skiing a blue square trail, like that's a lot.
Yeah.
But this is like, this person does a sport that involves potential bodily harm. This is not starting from nothing.
Can I also say something?
Yeah.
I want to give more credit to, again, I think that I do this a lot with Question Asker describing other person because I think that you gotta read this like literary text, right?
Yeah.
The Question Asker is an unreliable narrator. Let's try to fill in boyfriend a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what semi-professional skiers, everyone other than like Shaun White, I'm saying Shaun White because I don't know any professional skiers, but you know who everyone other than Shaun White has to do as a job?
What?
Ski instructor to make money doing the thing you want to do. I'm sure he knows how to teach people how to ski. He has probably taught 6-year-olds how to ski.
Lots and lots.
I bet.
Yes.
And the thing that she's saying about her being clumsy does not make any sense from the fact that she recreationally climbs. And I
holds her body weight on like a piece of putty that's 2 inches wide.
But even if it is indoor, which I don't even think it's indoor because she's writing into outside.
Yes,
like this
true.
Isn't even like she's at an indoor gym.
No, that's a good point.
I think she is in Denver.
This is not Indoor Magazine. Tough love.
Exactly. So it's like, no, you're not. People got in your head. Your friends got in your head.
Yes.
About this, and also you were hesitant from picking up the hobby that your boyfriend was semi-professional at. Because you were worried about looking stupid in front of him.
Yeah. And like,
I think that's really what this is.
I totally agree. And I feel like skiing is not a thing that you're like naturally gifted at.
No, it takes a ton of work.
Every skier has fallen, gotten hurt, and to your point, like taught people in exchange for their lift passes or to like live the lifestyle where you can become so good at skiing that you're semi-pro.
You need a cajillion hours in skiing.
And so I agree with you on this. Like I don't think that someone who is that good at skiing and has especially skiing as a thing. Like you can be a surfer and just like go out there and figure it out and like never teach others to surf, but like that's not true for skiing. You have a very realistic idea what someone with zero ski experience should do and is capable of.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like, this whole thing smells fishy. I think there's so much more context. I just like fishing for context.
Well, let's see what Blair has to say, shall we?
All right. Blair's going to be much nicer about this than I was.
Well, Blair starts with, what is going on with your friends' bad ski relationships? That's surprising. A lot of people learn hobbies from their partners. That's how most of the world gets their hobbies. And a lot of those couples are still together. If they break up, it's probably not the hobbies that did it. So what's going on here?
Yeah.
Your partner was semi-pro. He knows the work it takes to get good. And he'll probably have realistic expectations for your progress. One of the first tenets of teaching someone a new outdoor skill is to leave them wanting more. So if he's a good teacher, he'll give you frequent breaks and keep things low pressure. You'll probably be sore, so plan time in between to recover. And then she goes into like, this is a good time to like practice communication. Think about what you want. Tell him what you expect. Tell him your fears, etc.
You know how I know this is going to go badly? Because instead of that, she wrote into Outside Magazine.
Yeah. She says, skiing is supposed to be fun. One of your favorite people in the world is teaching you one of his favorite things.
That's what I'm saying. Why did they have to trade on it?
I'm not sure.
It feels so that feels suspicious. It feels very weighted to me. And I guess I'm trying to like color in the stuff around what Question Asker is saying.
I'm with you. Like this is the thing that I take away most from these replay episodes, which I really appreciate, is like everybody is telling a story from their own perspective. And so I could definitely see this being like, hey, babe, I'd love to teach you how to climb. He's like, oh my God, I'd love to teach you how to ski. Do you want to do both? Like a summer hobby, a winter hobby? Incredible. No.
But like you can also see though the scenario where he's like, I'll climb, but you have to ski. And then she goes, sure. Oh, yeah, fine. Sure. Good.
Yes.
Well, that won't happen for 4 months because it's June.
That's what the letter, I think, is leading us to believe. And we don't know. We simply don't know.
I guess so. I don't know. I think in all of these questions, from the number of times we've done this, is like Question Asker always wants to look good.
Yeah.
And every time someone writes in a question, the reason why people write into advice columns is because they get to, in writing, tell their side of the story and no one else gets to weigh in.
Yeah. It feels like the question that they're really asking is, my boyfriend is silly for wanting to do this to me, right? Versus, I might have made a mistake in agreeing to this. What do I do now? Right.
Or it's like, I'm worried about looking stupid in front of my boyfriend. The question that she's asking is the same thing you said. Yeah, that's why I'm calling bullshit on Question Asker.
I like it. I wish I knew more, but I'm curious what everybody has to say in the comments.
Hey, Outside Magazine, can you do follow-ups, please?
Excuse me.
Excuse me? Can you stop being a print magazine about the outdoors and do follow-ups?
Well, Eric, because I ran out of paywalled articles, I did pay $20 for a year of access to Outside Magazine. And
You didn't have to do that.
I did. And I just want you to read the other brands that come with this subscription.
This is so funny. Okay. You can decide to keep this or not, but this is like buying like a porn subscription. You get like 20 different wildly variant things underneath it.
Yep.
It's like Outside Magazine, Trail Forks Pro, Gaia GPS Premium, Velo. Don't know what that is.
Nope.
What is Pink Bike?
Don't know.
See,
biking for women? I couldn't tell you.
That's one of the things you get in the porn package. Backpacker and yoga journal.
Incredible.
I like it. I love how everything's plus. This is Outside Plus.
I know. It's the plusification.
I love Outside being
media.
a conglomerate of all these like smaller outdoor companies.
Listen,
funny.
$20 a year is pretty good.
Hell yeah. Amanda, I feel like I do want to do at the end here. I would like to ask. I have a question here that's written in, coming from Eric Silver. I mean, like, hi, I got peer pressured by my wife and perpetual guest on my podcast to have a PS5.
Yes.
I have not plugged it in yet because I feel like I need like the right time to do it.
Okay.
What do you think I should do?
I think that when your real spouse and your work spouse say, "Hey, bud, you deserve to have nice things. You deserve to buy yourself a new gaming console once every checks watch, 4 or 5 years. And you deserve to play a game that you really like because you're an adult who is allowed to spend money on his hobbies. You should be like, you know what? Okay. And wasn't cool of your wife to cajole you to do that on public content.
True.
But you're allowed to
You didn't do it
think
in
about
public.
it.
You and Jasper did it in a
We did it on a call.
in a call.
On a call.
You didn't do
For
it
a
in
few
public.
minutes, and then like let you think about it. But I am glad you did, and I think you should theme a little night in for yourself. I think you should get some empanadas from Queens. You should get some pizza from Brooklyn. You should get whatever makes you feel excited, like Miles Morales. Put on that soundtrack, which is a very good one that you love, and really say like, yeah, like I am committing to this. I am plugging it in, and I am going to play this game that my wife desperately wants to watch me play because it is in
true.
Queens.
Yeah. Being 32 is you say, "What's up, danger?" to plugging in a new console.
Also, we didn't have a DVD player, so that's helpful.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good point. Does this one have a disc drive?
It takes Blu-ray, yeah.
Okay, good. So yeah, the next time we do this, I will talk. I'll probably in the next episode, I'm going to talk to Jasper about the PS5. I just had not had a chance to do it. I'm on the last. I have 100%ed almost all of Super Mario Wonder,
It's been out for 6 days.
but I still have one level left, which is so hard, and I feel like I need to beat it before I move on. I don't know if that's a fallacy. I guess I just think that I'm never going to come back to it unless I restart the game. So it's why I'm trying to like get it out of the way. But it's very, very difficult.
I understand, and I think you're totally allowed to want to finish one game before starting another. So
It's
listen,
just like
on your-
I can't
on your
like
schedule.
in order for me to start the new game, I have to like set up a new console, which also feels daunting. What's up, danger?
What's up, danger?
What's up, danger?
What's up,
Plugging in the HDMI port.
That sounds like good content.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited about it. Mischa's been telling me about it. We just did it on the last episode, so I want to play. I'm going to play that, and I'm going to play God of War Ragnarok, which I've somehow resisted a lot of spoilers for. So I'm very. It's my PlayStation exclusive machine.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I guess I haven't bought a new console in years. Like I would.
No, you bought a Switch.
The Switch and then the King of Games.
Yeah.
I would count. Yeah.
Well, it's half a work computer, and it's shared between us. It's not simply a Peglin machine.
but that was still like 20.
That was 2020.
2020. Wow, you're right. That was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That's wild.
You're allowed.
All right, that's fine. It's just it makes more sense to me.
And hey, you're allowed to do it on your timetable. There is no right time or wrong time to start a new game, bud.
Okay, fine. Amanda, where can people find you when you're not doing this podcast?
I'm so Mickey.
Incredibly Mickey.
Nah, she's so Mickey online. Also, I have a resume editing business. I don't ever talk about it, but if anyone is a creative professional or a non-creative professional and wants help
And
editing their
anything
resume
professional.
and applying to jobs and being like, hey, this sucks. Someone take it $100 and do it for me, please. beehiveresumes.com. That's me.
I'm Eric. Follow me on Twitter. Listen to the podcast. Tell people about it.
Look at your good fall
yeah.
fits on TikTok.
I need to post again on TikTok. I'm too tired to post.
Do the What's Up
post TikTok.
Danger. Do the What's Up Danger.
No, I don't. I'm just like edited and set it up. I'm tired. All right, yeah. I forget how these episodes end up, but there's nothing in the manual.
Normally you throw to me to make me say a saying.
Oh, that's right. I usually do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And Amanda, we say the thing that we always say at the end of these episodes.
What's up, danger, bitches?
Games and Feelings is produced by Eric Silver and edited and mixed by Mischa Stanton. The theme music is Return to French Toast Castle by Jeff Bryce, and the art was created by Jessica Boyd. Find transcripts for this episode and all episodes at our website, gamesandfeelings.com. Until next time, press X to enjoy the podcast.